Chapter 6. Die Kompas, the compass. Elias knelt in the dirt of the tuin, clutching the heavy brass instrument. He rubbed his thumb over the glass face, clearing away the last of the grime. It was definitely a compass, but the needle wasn't floating freely. It was locked in place, pointing rigidly toward the bottom of the dial. "Look at this," Elias said, tilting the compass so Elara could see. "Kijk hier." Elara crouched beside him, her eyes darting nervously toward the entrance of the tuin. "We can't stay here long, Elias. If the man with the cane went to the tuin entrance, he will find us soon." "I know, we have to move vinnig," Elias agreed, repeating the word for fast. "But I need to know what this means. The letters are different. There's an N, an S, an O, and a W." "Ah," Elara breathed, tracing her finger over the brass letters. "It is in Afrikaans, the directions." She pointed to the N at the top. "North is Noord." She pronounced it by stretching the O sound. "Noort." "Noort," Elias repeated, writing it in his notebook. She pointed to the S at the bottom. "South is sweet." The ui is that tricky sound again, like A mixed with ow. "Sate," Elias tried. "Sweet." "Good." "The O is for east," Elara continued. "In Afrikaans, east is oost." "Oost," Elias echoed. The double O made the same long boat-like sound as in groot and boom. Oost. "And finally, the W is west. We say wes. Remember, the W sounds like a V. Ves." Elias looked at his notebook. Noord, sweet, oost, wes. North, south, east, west. Okay, but the needle isn't moving. No matter which way I turn the compass, it stays locked on sweet. "Then sweet is where your grandfather wants you to go," Elara said, standing up and brushing the dirt from her jeans. "We need to go south." Elias stood up, pocketing the compass. He looked around the vast, sprawling tuin. "Which way is sweet?" She pointed straight ahead, past the groot ow boom, big old tree. She pointed toward the massive, flat-top shadow looming over the city. "Kijk naar die berg. Look at the mountain." Elias looked up. Tafelberg was impossible to miss, but it looked different now. The clear blue morning sky was rapidly disappearing. A thick white mass was spilling over the flat edge of the mountain, cascading down the cliffs like a waterfall of mist. "What is that?" Elias asked, staring at the phenomenon. "The tablecloth," Elara explained, shivering slightly. She zipped up her green jacket. "It is a massive cloud. In Afrikaans, a cloud is a wolk." "Wolk," Elias said. The W sounded like a V. Volk. Suddenly, a sharp gust of air tore through the tuin, rattling the branches of the boom. It cut right through Elias's thin coat. "It's getting cold," Elias muttered. "Yes, cowed," Elara agreed. The OU sounded just like the O in coat. "Coat," Elias mumbled to himself. "Easy to remember. Cold means cowed." "And the wind is picking up," she added, holding her hair back as another gust ripped through the tuin. "The wind. We spell it exactly the same as in English, but the W makes a V sound, and the D sounds like a T. Vint." "Wind," Elias said. The cowed wind was blowing off the walk on the barrack. The pieces of the language were starting to fit together in his mind, like the gears of a clock. "If we go sweet toward the barrack," Elara said, raising her voice over the howling wind, "we will hit the lower cable station. There are trails leading up the mountain from there." Elias pulled out the folded map from Chapter 2. He found the red circle around the blue door and traced his finger sweet, down through the tuin, right to the base of Tafelberg. His grandfather's clues were a chain. The map led to the coffee shop. The coffee shop hid the brief and the photo. The brief led to the boom, and the boom hid the compass pointing sweet. "There's something else up there," Elias said firmly. "Another clue, maybe the geheim itself." "Then we must go on," Elara urged, looking nervously back down the straat they had run from, before the man with the silver cane catches up. Elias nodded. He gripped the heavy brass compass in his pocket. "Own's gone sweet. We go south." They turned their backs on the city and began to walk briskly toward the looming cloud-covered barrack. The wind howled around them, a chilling reminder that the closer they got to the geheim, the more gevaarlijk, dangerous, things would become.
Elias's Notebook, Chapter 6 Review. The compass doesn't point north. It's locked on Suid, south. Grandpa wants me to head directly for Tafelberg. The weather is turning. A massive wolk, cloud, is covering the mountain, and the wind is freezing. I need to keep moving vinnig. The compass directions. North, north. Suid, south. Tricky UI sound. Oost, east. West, west. W sounds like V. Weather and nature. Wolk, cloud. W sounds like V. Wind, wind. W sounds like V. D sounds like T. Koud, cold, sounds exactly like coat. Berg, mountain. Action words and phrases. Kijk hier, look here. Ons gaan, we go. Recycled words to keep sharp. Kompas, compass. Boom, tree. Tuin, garden. Vinnig, fast or quick. Gevaarlijk, dangerous. Man, man.